Okay, faith and religion. Listen, there's a bunch of stuff out there about it, blah, 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 blah. In an effort, as I always do, or try to, make things simple, here it is. Religion's man-made. Faith is God-made. There's a difference between those two things. Categorically. That doesn't mean they don't work together, which is why I say faith and religion. It's not faith versus religion. It's not that stuff. You know, some of the people that I know that are the strongest Christians are in a religion. There's a religion. You know, there's Catholics and there's there's lots of religions, right? That's man-made. That's the man's interpretation of the Bible, and. I mean, let's not complicate it. That's it. Really? That's it. And what concerns me is when people believe in faith. No, that's wrong. I just said it wrong. Can you believe that? They call it their faith when it's actually believing in religion. That's scary. Because you're not believing necessarily in what the religion believes in at that point. You're believing in the actual religion itself, which is a form of adultery. And listen. Faith and religion work well together when you understand the difference and you're able to see religion for what it is because of your faith and because you're going back to the Bible. I was having a discussion with somebody last week, and you could just start, that whole religion thing, it's hard to talk about, people want to defend their religion and what they grew up in or what they, and I saw it starting to get that way, and I went, hold on, let's be clear. Every religion is wrong. And every one of them does things right. Now can we have a conversation? Walls went down, we talked about faith, we talked about the different things. And actually I've been texting almost daily about things, and it's amazing how that conversation shifted because it wasn't about the religion side of it and how we talked about the real stuff. Don't get distracted by the religious stuff. Attending church on Sunday has nothing to do with religion. The Bible says to meet where any two or more meet. That's church. It's got nothing to do with the name on the sign. It's got nothing to do with the building or the rituals that go on. It doesn't matter. Now, religions help point you to God and that kind of thing. So I'm not saying, don't be dumb and take that. Don't just... One of the other things that comes to mind is that with everybody that I talk to that I see Christ in, that lives it, not a single one of them says, I'm a Catholic, or I'm a Baptist, or I'm a Lutheran, or whatever, you know what I mean. They don't say that. You want to know how you can figure out who a Christian is? One of the ways is how they talk to you about that. Are they focused on you have to baptize this way, or you have to do this, or you have to do that? If they're focused on that, you can be like, religious. The people that have the faith, that really, really have the faith, that are looking to the Bible, they're not saying those kind of things. Listen, there is a categoric difference between saying I'm a Catholic and saying I'm a Christian that attends a Catholic church. It is a categoric difference. And to me, it's about putting that in the right perspective. And I think that's the key. If you're a Christian first and you attend a church, or you abide by this religious stuff, good. That's good. I think you'll be surprised at the kind of discussions you can have and the divisiveness that comes from talking religion instead of faith. I don't ever ask what church people go to. It doesn't frickin' matter. It doesn't matter. But I can tell you who a Christian is and who a Christian isn't based on a conversation. And I know that sounds like, oh my gosh, you can tell. There's just something about them. How they live, how they talk, how they do. The followers of the way, not religious, but you know they are Christians. And very often, they don't have to tell you with their words. Those are people of faith, not religion. So all the churches and the times that you connect with people, they should point to this. And this is just the one that's close. I have a few of them. Doesn't matter. This one's the one that is closest. So they point to this, right? That's the key. If you're somewhere attending church and they don't point to this, the Bible, they don't read from it, they don't, speak to it, that's a problem. And, oh, by the way, we're supposed to question. We're supposed to use this resource that God has provided so we can tell who the false prophets are, so we can see who's leading us astray, so we can look at religion, whatever the religion is, which is, like I said, all of them are wrong. You go look at this, you're going to find there are things that religions do that have nothing to do with this. And that's okay, because there's tradition involved, and there's lifting people up and doing all that kind of stuff. The issue becomes if they say it's from here. You have to look to this whenever something comes up. You have to use it as a reference to go and find out, to check things. God tells us to do that in here. So how you have faith and religion, and the people that understand the difference, they go to this and they're like, okay, yeah, we cover our heads because of this one verse. Great. Another one might be like, well, we interpret it. Those little details, I'm pretty sure Jesus doesn't care about that. He cares if you focus on those details and they become more important than him. Kind of says that in here too. But that's the key. So listen, the more you know this, the more this will make sense. So if you're hearing this and going, they're the same thing or anything, just you got to get into this a little bit more, because in here there's this guy, this man that came and actually rebuked and corrected the religion of the day, because they were going after the letter of the law and not the spirit of it, because they were too stuck in tradition and what it said and didn't get grace and mercy. They didn't understand it. So if Jesus came and did that, and he's who Christians believe in, I do, then why not just start there and look at what he said about religion and what he did? If you haven't done that, go read some of the Gospels. Go read one, just pick one and read it. He flipped over tables at one point. I mean, it's in here, and don't judge other religions. Don't judge you're focused on the wrong stuff. It says it in here. So maybe other people are going to do that. This isn't about other people. This is about you. It's about me too, because I'm challenging myself as I challenge you. But remind yourself, if you haven't been in here in a while, which I honestly haven't, I need to go back and read the gospel. I'm talking to myself as well. So I'm going to go do that. You do it as well. Then you'll know the difference between faith and religion.